me, Dr. Sushma Nandia, President NNF, and Dr. Surinder Vish, Secretary General NNF. We have the proud privilege of talking to the founder president of NNF, Professor S K Bhargava. Sir, it's our proud privilege. We are indeed grateful that you have given us time to let us know something about how the National Neonatology Forum was formed. How did this idea come up way back in the late 70s, early 80s?
The idea to form an NNF actually began somewhere in mid 70s.
Mhm.
Actually, till 1960s, when nobody knew what is newborn. And in 67, 68, when we started attending the IAP conferences, there were occasional papers. Then a group of papers came and there was special session on newborn. Then when there were special sessions, then some of us got together. Those who were the ones who were chronic presenters, myself, Dr. Sheila Karan, Dr. Owen Bakku, and others, miscellaneous. And then it grew, and then the number of people getting interested in newborn began to increase. So somewhere in mid 75, 77, after the International Congress, actually it is the International Congress which might have given us a impetus to have newborn separately. It was international conference was done in 1977. So there were a lot of neonatologists who came. So after 77, 78, 79, somewhere, Baku talked to me and we realized that nobody let us talk of newborn, look after newborn, or talk to anything. So we thought we have to do something about it. My main interaction were always with Baku. I have not talked to anybody else at that time. I think perhaps only Sheila Karan was far off. Baku being Chandigarh, and in Delhi we used to meet more often. So Baku said, "What should we do?" And I said, "Look, it's very difficult to make a society and also to call it academy." And we both said, look, we are actually advocates of newborn. We are advocating. We want newborn to be recognized. We want newborn to have its own status. Mm-hmm. So we are not trying to do something like a society work. We are like two activists to let us look for the name which reflects activism. So we thought of forum.
We actually really wanted to know why you've chosen the word forum. And everybody says association, academy, or societies. Forum is when we see ourselves, forum stands apart because not many organizations have word forum. So how did this idea came of putting the word
because
forum?
We wanted, nobody talked of newborn. I mean, it was very appalling to say that if you talk to the parents, they will say, "बच्चा तो भगवान की देन है, बच गया तो भगवान की कृपा है, मर गया तो भगवान नहीं चाहता था." God's wish. Parents, they were mostly home deliveries. A few in the hospital, the obstetrician won't let you take over newborns. A pediatric professor won't like you to take newborns. It was simple. I must say that Dr. Ghosh was different, my professor. But otherwise, generally, it was a resentment that neonatology was being separated by pediatricians in general. We had to fight not only obstetricians but pediatricians. So we were actually fighting at every level. And therefore, it became a forum. Forum is a group of people who are fighters.
Or advocates.
Advocacy is the right word. Actually, Bakku and I, we said so. We are advocates. So let us look for a word which indicates advocacy. So it is a word which was coined by me and Bakku.
And does the forum word meant advocates of people of different variety of people or different specialties coming together and advocating for the cause of newborn?
We knew that we are not getting support of obstetrician nor of it. So we decided anybody, irrespective of his qualifications or anything interested in newborn will become part of the NNF. And that is why the membership at that was open to anybody.
So hopefully this.
You can see the first sentence which I have written. I wrote the constitution by hand. And the first sentence was anyone interested in newborn can become a member of the. And that was because we're looking for in community, in my parents, family, everywhere.
Industry also.
I mean,
Industry.
to lose a child was normal.
Mhm.
I mean, there the parents produced a cricket team, and if 5 survived, it was all right.
So where was the first ever conference of National Neonatology Forum held?
See, the idea to make it pakka was done in Bangalore,
Right.
1980,
Mhm.
and Professor Manchanda was the chair, and there was a group of those who were interested met and decided we'll have a convention, and Dr. I.C. Verma very kindly accepted the invitation to hold a convention the same year in New Delhi. The first convention was held in New Delhi in AIMS Lecture Hall number 1.
LT1.
And we were there, but unfortunately, Baku was not there. He had out of country, and Dr. Melvan Singh also was not there. So Dr. I.C. Verma, so Pasamini Arani, Jayam, and many others from Calcutta and across the country came for that convention. And in that convention, it was decided to have the forum. We named it forum. And then there was the election, general body, open election, and my name was proposed unanimously, and I was elected by voice vote. There was no voting or anything. Unanimously, the first president.
So,
And it
so
was-
how challenging was it to then approach the government, other fraternal organizations like Indian Academy of Pediatrics or the FOXY, and
That is something long in a sense a little longish term. The first thing was that the people who came together for NNF were wonderful people. I mean, the support, the goodwill, the dedication, and the enthusiasm that showed was remarkable. I've not seen like that.
And
So
we still
it was
really
it
want to
was
follow that.
it was an honor, and it was you felt like leading the group. So wherever we went, we talked, and the thing was to first get it registered, and it was decided in that meeting that the office will be at some department of pediatrics because I was heading the department.
I saw the letter.
So we had for that part. So the second came, we had to go through the process of getting a constitution, registering the society. It was at the same meeting decided that Dr. Bachchan said he will hold the second convention in
Mumbai.
Mumbai. It was decided. Dr. Bachchan offered. So that was sorted out. And it was at that point clear everybody will pay his own fare. So there was no hospitality and no money was involved. You come, pay and do. I mean, nothing was offered at that time. Even the president had to pay his fee, registration.
Sir, I found when looking at the papers that the initial members paid and the membership fees was rupees 500 in 1980.
That was life membership.
Life membership. And that's a big money compared to today's
Yes.
money also. So, because the salaries were not that high that time.
For that time it was very high.
That was
My-
very, more,
my
more
salary-
than 1 month salary.
My salary as professor was 2,500.
So it was, for many people, it was almost a substantial amount of the
Yes,
salary.
of course, but people paid a lot of. That's how I'm just saying that it was the goodwill of the pediatricians who wanted to be newborns. That was the thing. So then it was around 1980. At that time, fortunately, ministry also had a change.
In fact, we wanted to ask you this question. How supportive was the government of the day
I'm coming to it.
to that?
It's all luck, Bhargav luck. At that time, Dr. Indra Bhargav, who was a former professor and head of anatomy at GR Medical College and in MP. Came as professor, came as deputy commissioner at MCH.
Okay.
So he called me and said, "Hey, look, you know me, I know anatomy. I was at Safdarjung and I don't know about child health, so what do I do?" So this is a quote or unquote you have to decide. So I said, "Sir, you are highly intelligent," because he had become a professor and head at 29, at the age of 29.
Oh.
So when I said, "Sir, look, you are highly intelligent. I'm your student. So now I'm going to tell you something and you have to think over." I said, "You make M small, CH bigger, then we can talk."
Mhm.
You get the point?
Yes, sir.
Right, yes, sir.
In MCH,
Um,
it will M always.
um,
And so he said, "What rubbish?" I said, "Sir, you are not understanding my point. I'm not understanding your point. So you think over. We will meet again." So a few days later, he said, "Okay, I have understood. Now tell me what you want." So I said, "So the problem is not that I don't understand, mother. In the 67 to up till now, 80s, 70s, I always used to talk perinatal care. That is mother and newborn.
Mm.
By the time I finished mother, newborn's turn never came. That's why I talked of M small and CH." So he said, "Okay." So he said, "Okay, now we have understood. What do you want?" I said, "If you want to do something, let us have a workshop on perinatal care." I still believe in perinatal care. And I must say, I had very good relations with obstetricians at that time. Leading obstetrician, Dr. Banu Koyaki, professor at Chandigarh, in Calcutta, Professor Don, Professor Mehta.
And you talk about Rajaram
I
ji?
mean, I used to meet them and we used to talk, and they were actually afraid of me because I knew so much about statistics. They said he quotes right, left, and center. And he said that he can walk away from any meeting talking much more than us. So, but they were always very kind to me, obstetrician. And you see in the memorandum of association, there are two obstetricians, Dr.
Rajaram.
Prakash and Dr.
Rajaram.
Rajaram. There were many others, Dr. Mehta, and so many I could talk to. I had
So we have three
Dr.
founding
Prakash.
members who are obstetricians.
These were the words, and let me now narrate to it how Safdarjung became so prominent. When Safdarjung, let me at this point I'll tell you my own. When in 1967 Dr. Ghosh came to Safdarjung, I had worked earlier at LNJP and at Indore, but till that time I had no experience of newborn.
Right.
So when she came to Safdarjung, she said, "Would you like a pediatric unit or would you like to go to newborn?" And everybody would those days like to be new in a pediatric unit head. I said, "No, Dr. Ghosh, you will need assistance in general pediatrics because you can't come in evening and attend emergency. So I'll take newborn unit and I'll attend your emergencies and other." So I went. So she said, "That's a good arrangement. It will help me, and I want newborn to be separate." So she took the decision. Till that time, newborn unit was not separate. So
Okay.
she separated that unit and became in charge of newborn unit. Until that time, I had done nothing in newborn. And I started learning a newborn. I was saying there was nothing in the newborn. Newborn was in two smaller suites, in two rooms, one bathroom and one nursery. That happened. So what I was trying to say that at that time, Safdarjung being the focus of newborn unit, we could talk a lot about perinatal care. And when I was doing it, obstetrician Dr. Pinto saw me working hard, so she called me one day and she said, "You might have been to Safdarjung. That Santosh, I'm giving you a labor room, two labor rooms. How you explain to administration, how you grab them, I'm not going to say I've given it. You take over." I
So
took over.
that's how the nursery became.
How it nursery became. Obstetrician gave it to me unofficially and said there are labor tables and material. You do what you like, but nothing should come on my name. I'm out of it. You will get the blame for everything. The way you work, I'm willing to do anything for you. Because I used to go to everywhere where a baby was there
So
to look after.
that's
So she said, I find you everywhere with a baby, so I feel very bad for you, so I'm giving you.
okay.
And except one obstetrician, the whole department supported. And then we had monthly meeting after, and believe me, openly cases were discussed where there were pediatrician fault and there were obstetrician fault. There were fights, but
And
afterward everything was over. So
yeah.
that's how it became.
So that's I actually wanted to know about the career path of your personal career path apart from the NNF, and some of which you have already elucidated and told us about how you started navigating from LNJP to Safdarjung, and then the idea of a nursery germinated and started. And this is how I think in some meetings, other personalities like Dr. Paul also said, the nurseries, people used to come visit Safdarjung to learn how a newborn care can be started and how these units then got replicated across. So
Yeah.
the
See, we were very open. For us, anybody was welcome to come and work. And we didn't look for certificates or anything. We didn't give certificates also. But because my unit, especially, I'm very committed registrars. Dr. Siddhartha is an example. Dr. Sajdev is another example. This, they have left, a lot of them have gone abroad, 3 of them. I mean, the 5 of them used to work and they used to complain, sir, you finish one program and before we ask for a cup of tea, you say, "Ab chap dusra ye karo." That part someday you can talk about.
Sir.
I think, Sushma, I'll tell you something. You should take newborn's history and development of 3 generations. That is mine, Chalani, and now Sugandha. We all 3 have done 3 different things
of the subdivision.
at the subdivision, and 3 all different, which are brought into national stream. You should do something because that will bring a lot of illumination to people in the country.
Right.
You think about it because
Okay.
I did intensive care. You must listen to the intensive care history. In 1980, my medical student, Dr. Pramanik, called me and said, Santosh, what is this? You return all the budget we write for nursery. I said, आप मुझे 50,000, 1 लाख, 1.5 लाख दे दो. इससे क्या होना है? वो लूँगा इक्विपमेंट टूट जाएगा फिर आपके पास आऊँगा. आप बताओ आपको मुझसे तकलीफ है कि नहीं? कोई शिकायत है नहीं? तो कहले तुम्हारी मोर्टालिटी वगैरह वैसी की वैसी रहती है. तो मैंने कहा चलेगी, आप कुछ नहीं करते, मैं कुछ नहीं करता. तो कहले तुम चाहते क्या हो? मैंने कहा सर चाहने को जो चीज़ें वो आप दोगे नहीं तो क्या फायदा है? आप भी बात मत करो, मैं भी बात न करूँ, मैं दुख में रहूँगा, आप भी दुख करोगे कि संतोष को नहीं दिया, छोड़ो ना सर. तो कहते हैं अच्छा जाओ. Believe me, after a week, Dr. Pramanik called me to come to my office. And I said, and he was sitting like an, he opened the drawer, took out the checkbook and threw at me, write your check. What do you want in your nurse? I said, what? He said, write the amount that you want today, I'm signing your check. I said, sir, this is all out of the blue to give me a week to think about how much money I want.
Mm.
Now, this is another story. I came back and then I talked across the country what equipment I should buy. I won't name the people, but nobody knew in this country. And I'm not joking. And I talked to across the country because I knew across the country. Then J. Mitra and brothers I called
Oh, the Mitras of Delhi.
कि राजीव तू एटलस ले अपना अपन दोनों बनाए. उसकी तस्वीरों में से देख के मैंने इक्विपमेंट खरीदा और वेरी नर्सरी में उस वक्त ट्रांसकटिनियस मॉनिटर से लेके ब्लड गैस मशीन और ट्रांसपोर्ट इंक्यूबेटर्स और वेंटिलेटर्स सारे के सारे उसमें आए. और उसमें भी आप एक स्टोरी सुन लीजिए, एनेक्डोट सुनते हैं. मैंने कहा सर अब आपने साइन कर दिया तो ये फाइल मुझे दे दो, मैं क्लियर करवाऊँ, उन्हें अटक जाएगी। उन्होंने कहा एक लेटर दे के मुझे दे दिया। तो आई टू एवरीवेयर एंड गेट द, तो कोई प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लिखवाता तो कुछ। सो वन डे आई रीच द DGSND, जहाँ फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मिलता था। तो डिप्टी डायरेक्टर मुझे मिस्टर सक्सेना ने कि डॉक्टर भार्गव आप कैसे आ गए, इतना बड़ा हेड तो कभी यहाँ नहीं आता। मैंने कहा सर अब आप मेरी ज़रूरत समझ लो या कमज़ोरी समझ लो या जो कुछ चाहे समझ लो, बस आज तो आ गया। तो भी आप बताओ तो क्यों आ गए। मैंने कहा सर आपके पास 10 मिनट है। तो कह रहे क्यों। मैं कहा सर ये बताने के लिए मेरे को 10 मिनट चाहिए, आपके पास 10 मिनट तो बता देता। घड़ी देख रहे हो तो बंद कर दूंगा। कहने है। तो मैंने कहा सर सुनिए, मेरी नर्सरी में जो बच्चे आते हैं सर जॉन्डिस से मर जाते हैं, फिर बेचोटी से मर जाते हैं, इन्फेक्शन से मर जाते हैं। इसलिए मर जाते हैं कि सर आप मुझे फॉरेन एक्सचेंज देते नहीं, इक्विपमेंट आता नहीं, बच्चे नहीं, तो आपको समझाने के लिए आओ कि आप मेहरबानी करो तो कोई बच्चे बन जाएंगे। सर फॉरेन एक्सचेंज तो वहाँ भी देते हो यहाँ भी देते हो, कुछ मुझे भी दे दो। लिटरली ऐसा बोला मैं। और मैं कहता हूँ बताओ कितने बच्चे रोज को मरते हैं।
You told the number.
I literally said so.
80 to
And
100.
I always talked of mortality. I never talked survival in my life. क्योंकि उसके मैंने मिलता ही नहीं था।
80 to 100 mortality.
मैं सर्वाइवल कहने लगूँ तो मुझे देगा कोई नहीं ना, मैं एक से मौत की बात कर। और देखो, it's a very fact. When I took over nursing, my nurses used to cry. They said, sir, we are known as mortuary nurses.
Mortuary.
That was the pain of Dr. Bhargava when I took over. And then, by the end of my term, everybody wanted to come and work in nursery. That was my satisfaction.
That we are very much
That was
aware of.
That was my satisfaction. From mortuary to everybody wanted to. So, he said, अब आपके पास 10 मिनट है डॉक्टर। मैंने कहा सर मैं तो सरकारी नौकर हूँ, 2 घंटे बैठा रहूँगा। कहते नहीं वो बात नहीं, मैं अब आपके साथ चाय पीऊँगा। मैंने कहा ठीक है सर। उन्होंने अपने उसको बुलाया कि ये कागज ऐसे ही दस्तखत होंगे, सारे दस्तखत मैं करूँगा, इस पे एक सवाल नहीं उठेगा। He sanctioned everything. That's the day newborn care was born in the country. Then another anecdote. In Bombay there was a CME, and in the CME, in the conference, you know, it was a 10-minute presentation where I first time presented my newborn intensive care. तो टी इंटरवर्ट के पहले NNF का ही था, टी इंटरवर्ट के पहले बॉम्बे कॉन्फ्रेंस का, टी NNF का पहले उन्होंने कहा, तो उन्होंने ऑडियंस ने कहा no sir, we don't want any tea break. Dr. Bhargava can have tea break. And the audience asked me for 1.5 hours questions that day.
Because
on my NNF, on you. That day I knew bones have made in the country. That was the day I knew, now I have made it.
So actually, rightly said, sir, in the heart of heart, all pediatricians and even all obstetricians also feel for the pain which you just reflected, and I think that pain and about deaths of newborns get reflected at multiple forums, and that gets actually translated into the growth, that has translated into the growth of newborn care in India also. And that's the journey started from Sadhujay. We wanted to know more about the personalities in the national arena who supported the idea which you started, and then the movement of newborn from down south up north.
That is the thing I'm saying. Across the country. But there were leaders across, William. For example, in South, Dr. J. I mean, that lady was remarkable. She fought her own way.
That's
Dr. J.
She was in Institute of Childhood that time, or she was in Madras Medical College? She was in Madras Medical College that time?
No, she was Madras Medical, the Institute of Child Health. And she presented a paper on, she was a very good presenter generally. For newborn, she did a lot. In UP, Dr. P.K. Mishra was there. In Indore, Dr. Chapawal was there.
Yes.
DC Chapawal.
Chapawal. In Rajasthan, there were a lot of people, a group of people. Kota mein Dr. Joshi.
Kota had a newborn care.
They were all interested. It came from all across the country. बॉम्बे में सिविल ईरानी थी, डॉक्टर अरमेला फर्नांडिस ये तो बाद में आए, डॉक्टर मेहता थी. सिविल was the one who led from Bombay. Not प्रेम शेठ थी जिसको आप जानते हैं.
नहीं जानते हैं सर.
प्रेम
I
शेठ,
know.
प्रेम शेठ and सिविल ईरानी. सब लड़कियां दोस्ती मेरी.
The journey of newborns, the pain which you talked about, is felt more by mothers. And certainly, was it always being that mothers and the female pediatricians were more interested in newborn care? Was it?
नहीं, males भी थे, fathers भी थे. Dr. Advan Singh, Dr. Bakku, Dr. Siddharth Dhamji, Dr. Vinod Paul. I mean, I'm honored. Vinod came to me from AIMS, said, "Sir, I want to work for 6 months with you." I mean, that was a very happy day for me. Somebody walking across from
AIMS.
Vinod Paul, all. To say, "Sir, I've got 6 months before I'll get another job in AIMS." I said, happily come. And the reason was that I talked a lot of public health. Newborn, we did not just talk of intensive care. And
So actually, we wanted to know about the public health initiatives, which actually got the government took it over, or the NNF started it.
Now I'll get you to another. Now I'll get you to government. It was in till 1979 in the government nobody talked of newborn. Okay. In 79 I got 2 invitations. Now you'll have to forgive my word, but that's fact I'm talking about. I was called by the DG, Dr. Shankaran, and I was called by the DG in ICMR. Dr. Shankaran said, "Santosh, what is infant mortality?" He was at Sabdadam, orthopedic, so he knew me by name. I got a lot of prominence because I was at Sabdadam, and they found easy access to it. He came child survival. Even in the first few child survival, there was no newborn ward. I've taken out a booklet for you, especially because I knew you will talk of it. And this is perhaps may or may not be there in your. This is somewhere, I think it was in the President House that day.
This book I've seen.
First time it was included here.
So this is the National Child Survival and Safe
The
Motherhood
first
Program.
time, 1984.
So this book we have.
Same
1994 में आया, न्यूबॉर्न करके 1994 में.
मैडम तब पूल ऑफिसर थी और शायद मैं पीजी स्टार्ट कर रहा था.
ये historical.
So this book we have read.
So at that time, child survival, it came. Then the second part is about the essential newborn care, which is what is major. So in 1994, Dr. Sokhe, Deputy Commissioner MCH.
No, it's not okay.
I was in practice. And I must say, despite being practice, still ministry honored me a lot. And they talked to me and called me in a lot of expert committee meetings, both ICMR and the Government of India. They still believe me that practice has not affected my IQ. So she said to me, Dr. Bhargava, please, we want to see you. So I said, if it is related to ministry, I'll come there. She said, yes. And she said, I want to talk to you about newborn. We have decided now to do something about newborn. And we want you to write a program for the newborn, which we will own as our program. Whether it is good, bad or indifferent. But it will be Government of India program. But you have to write it in black and white. Number 2, I do not have money. So do not ask money because we have seen you talking about intensive care. So make whatever you want, make a reasonable kind of program. A third, that I will only see you. I won't see with another person. I said, why? She said, look, you can get 100 people tomorrow and then it will be a very chaotic thing. I can talk to you and so it will be one-on-one all the time. So I said, I need 24 hours. He said, why do you do 24 hours? I said, I can't do it alone. I need to ask people whether your condition that you'll see me alone is acceptable to them. He said, okay. So I talked to Jeff. That's Jeff. I said, Jeff, it can be two things. Either it will be Santosh Bhargava, Ministry of Health, newborn program, or it will be NNF, Government of India program. She said, I am sending a telegram. Whatever you will sign, we will support it. And you will always represent us. That is the understanding which made NNF. That blindly. I'll give you another example. There was a workshop which was done for obstetrician pediatrician in Pune. And that was done by Bombay obstetrician, very famous, I'm forgetting. And they were going out of country to they said, Santosh, here is the blank letter. Sign on behalf of Obstetrics Federation. We'll accept your program. That was the trust that we generated across.
So in the photographs I received from Secretary Dr. Guha, a lot of international collaborations. I've seen photographs where we have gone to neighboring countries or Liverpool or US, where NNF, how was NNF benefited or NNF contributed to the growth of newborn care?
That is something I'm coming. So essential newborn care was written here in handwriting, typed by Dita and given. And for you and me, it was in Gwalior that I, Harish Kumar, Dr. Bhan, Dr. Mehrotra, and Dr. उनके ऊपर जो थे ना एक और वो and Dr. Sokhe, where they would launch the program there. So it is Gwalior.
The CSSM got launched in Gwalior.
Yes, Gwalior.
Oh, that's great.
We practiced it. Whatever we had written, I stayed to say, तुम आ जाओ. तो मैं क्या 2-3 को practice में था तो बड़े डरते थे कि आएगा कि 2-3 दिन में रहा. So we landed. Siddharth Ramji wrote it. It was only Siddharth and I collaborated in writing. I used to write, Siddharth used to type in ministry. There was no computer that at that time. Only computer was available to us on the ministry. All historical. You can also.
So the international collaboration.
Now coming to it. Internationally, we used to invite initially
Peter Douglas.
Occasionally one pediatrician because we could not pay anybody. We used to pay only guest order. But British people, were interested in us. So Indo-British came to us from the British Council to me. British Council lady, June. They contacted, there was a delegation coming from London School of
Tropical medicine.
नहीं,
Hygiene.
इसका था obstetrician वाला था, उसका कुछ था, तो उनके, तो they said we want to organize a meeting and wherever I've gone, it is said Dr. Bhargava can organize it for you. So I said I'll do it for you subject to the condition that equal number of speakers, equal number of subjects are practicing in it. And I said I'll hold it in UCMS lecture hall. I have no money. And I never, believe me, I never used to take any money from company. I never hosted anything from company. No, nothing. My principal. So you will not find my photograph at any of the industries incubator others. So she said all agreed. And we did it, and believe me, pre-evening, we had not even 40 registration. They turned out to be more than 200 in that meeting. And the car we had, it broke down. So the British delegation pushed it. So we had no money those days, and I had no camps about saying it, that my organization has no money.
That's great.
And we paisa So Indo-British. Then that was Dr. Michael Chan from Liverpool. He came with another obstetrician and visited me. Whether he visited Goa, I'm not later, but he came to Southern and spent time with me. And I showed him how strong and everything. I had nothing. And they were so impressed, and I was doing a project called regionalization of anything
Right.
with Bhora Kala. So I took them to DICE and they said, here is the India. Here is the man who does India work. So they were very impressed, so we were impressed. And we all invited. So he was the one. And then he invited me. I've been to British Parliament. He became Lord. He was a member of Parliament. Unfortunately, he died at the beginning. Then Peter Dunn. You know, the first workshop in India, in Newborn, was done Dr. Bedell Corner from Bristol, 1969. And Peter Dunn was also from Bristol. He had done the workshop in something in 69. That's where I learned the organization of workshop. And then I went to Bedell Corner in Bristol again. And Peter Dunn came, and Peter Dunn became again the similar thing, became interested here. So Peter Dunn and I became very, very friendly. I've gone and stayed with Peter's home in UK. So that was, I don't know what Goa has told you, but then another reason, Sushma, that's my personal belief. When these countries were
Very similar. He also talked about Bristol, Dr. Coming and actually igniting the new movement of.
There were workshops done in Goa, you know. Workshop meetings were done in Goa by Peter Dunn. And Peter Dunn, again, I must tell you that there was a meeting in Cairo, and I got a very unexpected invitation to attend, and that was a meeting on fetal growth.
Okay.
And when I attended the meeting, so Peter, why did you invite me? Because there was across the world, anybody who had done on fetal growth was there, pediatrician or obstetrician. He said, look, we study the literature, you're the only one from the Southeast Asia also working on fetal growth. So I felt very honored. I'll show you that picture. I mean, that was an honor from Iceland, here, there, everybody. And there, you know what I presented on fetal growth? I presented mid-arm circumference and measure to identify low birth weight community. I cannot compete with their technology.
Sure.
I competed with them that how do I deal with lakhs of people when the equipments are not there. I can't take weighing scales and I have to identify. So that is the story about British. Now I wanted to make a point here. You see, we had two groups coming, USA, but USA largely Indian origin.
Indian diaspora which was working in US.
Dr. Vidyasagar was the first one who came, followed by Vinod Bhutani later. Vidyasagar used to come earlier. He came somewhere in early 80s, and he used to lecture. Now I have found that we cannot reach the American levels, but we are much closer to UK level. So we had a lot to learn easily from UK than we had to learn from US. So I, at a personal level, developed more with UK because I thought India has more future with them. This is my personal view.
So about the programs, whether to treatment of asphyxia, the Navjat Shishu Suraksha Karyakram, or the NRPs of NNF, the hypothermia management, the temperature control, and now subsequently the Kangaroo Mother Care program, the protocols and the accreditation process, which got kind of started in the era of late 80s, and we are surprised. It's a big surprise that NNF started quality accreditation way back in 89 and 90s. So
again, I must say that was a lot of Bhaku's interest. I think being in Chandigarh, where there was much less work, perhaps more quieter atmosphere than the Delhi, which is hot. He used to talk of these things, and I used to hear. I had again, Bhaku and I used to have very different views. Bhaku said we should start it way earlier even. I said, Bhaku, if we started, there will be no unit we can recognize. Because there is no space, there is no equipment, there is no trainer. How would you identify? You should have some kind of standards.
And you prepared those standards that time.
Therefore it came later. Otherwise it would have come much earlier.
Oh, sure. So it came around 88 or so.
You know, if you take this weight as a unit, why should you do it? You know, I was against baby-friendly hospital. I said they are not baby-friendly. What is this baby, only breastfeeding? And the baby does not die of baby. Baby dies of hypothermia. So you include all newborn essential, 10 conditions.
10.
So Dr. Soki and I always fought. I have never been a part of baby-friendly.
Baby-friendly.
Because it was not baby-friendly. You have to have your views. You lose some, you gain some.
That's something which
My principle. So Bhakwan had quite a lot of arguments. But we were going to open friends, talking of newborn care, upliftments.
So that is how things move when you
That
have
is how
different ideas which are discussed.
He dumped the NNF in my life and went to Canada to earn money. And I hear Dr. Bhargava holding a headship journal and then getting NNF 374 rupees was given to me by IC Orma ke Santosh, ye paisa le aur chala le newborn.
So NNF, when the group was there, do you actually identify some specialized committees or form specialized committees to look into certain areas or aspects around that time, or subsequently it started?
No, 1982 onwards. Now you look at I was president of 4 years. The 4 conferences, the first was strategies for newborn care.
Oh, that's great.
The second was education and training in neonatology.
Training in neonatology in 80s?
It is. I'll show you the books are there. If you don't find in your office, I'll fire you.
Yeah.
Because the third was on biomedical monitoring. The fourth was on multidisciplinary approach, and the fifth was on rural newborn.
Right.
Actually, I was elected in the 1980. So actually, I became in 80, but we called for 81 because it registered. Actually, NNF is registered in 1982.
I saw that.
In
July 25th July.
So we are actually, that is 1980 when I was elected as president. I started working in 1980.
And the conference also happened before that only.
वो तो इलेक्ट हो गए थे
Yeah.
वो तब ये थोड़ा कि अगले साल होगा वो तो तभी से हो गए थे तो वो छोड़ो तो 80 में strategy and part of it I was the one who with IC Verma did this उसकी recommendation है आपकी फाइल में जो आपने मुझे भेजी है
So
गुस्सा किया तो सारी फाइलें
So we sent all the files of our earlier one for him, because though he remembers so for the benefit of all, I'm just saying, though he still remembers everything, he said, I want to be very perfect. I want to know exactly that I'm telling what is actually there. So we had to, I sent all the files of the initial years for him to just freshen up. I think you have freshen up his memory.
No, that's being perfect. That you want
and
to
they've
give.
been
The correct
There are
information
books.
to the younger generation.
you should know that at that time in the Madras conference we promoted Indian equipment manufacturing company out and out. Phoenix is our product. Ask them. Ask Santosh Bhargava and JM. The man will stand and salute us.
I know.
I said there will be a time you won't be able to meet the demand. Stand with us.
Great.
And no, we invited you, we had session inviting all newborn equipment manufacturers.
Yes, I also.
There and asking them to present and then audience asking the questions.
I think that's something which
Which we have done in 90s also.
so we can
late
certainly
90s.
we should
Then
do that.
another thing which was very nice, which was done in Ahmedabad, town hall meeting.
Oh, so
Town hall
meeting with the
public
people.
में
Public में.
अरे ये अच्छी मीटिंग तो मैं अटेंड ही नहीं की.
So you-
Public asking about newborn. That's how newborn has got. लिख लो ये भी town hall meeting थी.
So town hall meeting is a good idea.
Town hall meeting है.
Oh, because town hall actually are meant to be places where public, the personalities or the intellectuals of the society or the cities can come and discuss matters of public
I was
importance.
surprised, Nikki, ki Shashi Wani town hall meeting.
That's a very good idea, sir. In fact,
You see how active I was as a president.
So, sir,
Sorry, ye delete kar dena.
so this is very enlightening to know all these over those 4 years and subsequently how things have been moving.
There is
in
another thing I
newborn.
like to say. You called me at 4 years, but my involvement with newborn has been until
Decades.
2011. I showed you my paper. I published in your journal, which has 8,000 reads on how to streamline NNF into government. Paper hai.
I've seen that paper, sir.
8,000 read है उसकी और चलानी ने और दलीत ने कहा सर वी वांट ए पेपर आप बताओ न्यूबॉर्न को गवर्न में कैसे लेना तो लिखा 2009 का सो आई हैव बीन ए पार्ट ऑफ न्यू एनएनएफ पर अब तो मैं नहीं जाता या मुझे मालूम भी नहीं रहते विश्व को तुम्हें दिखाना पड़ा गुस्सा करना पड़ा कि तुम मेरी मेल का जवाब नहीं देते
So, sir, what will be your message to the current generation of neonatologists, newborn people who are working? It has been more than 4 decades that NNF was formed.
And we're really fortunate and blessed to have this message going to the younger generation and the generations thereof also. How it's going.
I would still say that we are long way off. We are like India, bullock cart to space, landing on moon. We have to cover both. We still have a lot of ground both in terms of delivering newborn care. My strong point was delivery of newborn care. And our care has to deliver from ground that is village level down to the apex level. And that is something which we have to work out how to do it because standards are not good. We still get a lot of commentary about it. The one part is that you must work on delivery of newborn care at different level. And I think you should try to develop telemedicine as a message. I had a paper in 95, telemedicine through Panchayat system. I'm saying it. Actually in 78, myself, Dr. Desai from Hyderabad and Delhi myself and Ramji had done a telemedicine day, presented the cases in Ahmedabad and we were in the Earth station in Ridge Road. Ridge पे एक satellite station था and the satellite was dying. So they said, you can do something. If you want, we can give you time. To Dr. Desai had said, Santosh, would you like to do it? I've got an hour. So we did it. And we could diagnose a lot of cases without seeing by listening to heart and listening to story. So we at that time in 1978 done it too. Look at telemedicine as a delivery of your messages because they're easy to get people and communicate very easily. Number two, I think we are still not very strong in research. And public health research community based, which we must look into it. And I hope you all are as harmonious and as friendly as we were in our times. I mean, the kind of support, Dr. Gua, the kind of support he gave me, the kind of support Bhakku gave me, or Jayam or Simin, I mean, you could call them anytime. Fernandez, I mean, you name anyone, Dr. Mehta. I was called in Tripura when I was not any. Sir, you come here and convince my health secretary for newborn care. I went there to Tripura. So people, I hope you can maintain that kind of happy family that I had in my time. I was very fortunate.
So the lines of communications in those times, though there was connectivity was not that good, whether it was connectivity or phone connectivity or even the travel communications were not good, but you could all connect yourself so well because, as you rightly said, the passion towards newborn health, delivering newborn care was paramount in the minds and heart of all those who were involved initially, and that is something the foundations which you laid actually has nurtured the plant or the into a big tree, which is now NNF of more than 10,000 members. And still, of all the associations, and with the kind of degeneration of the society over the years, which people feel has happened, NNF still holds a very strong pillar, or you can say strong tower, flag of cohesion, communication, research in newborn health, and the programs which are initiated at all levels. Actually, the target is actually providing care delivery from rural till the most. We want to compete with the best in the US and really have reached the moon. So we have become better than US in many of the institutions, and still we are working towards to the last man standing or last post in the PSC, where we want to provide through SNCU level or FBNC level or NSSK level. So, sir, we assure on behalf of NNF that the foundations with which the intention with which it was laid is actually being fulfilled by our current members. The president over the time have actually made programs, their action plan directed towards from the rural areas till the highest. We don't want to be lagging behind in the intensive care to anybody in the world, but we still want to take care of the poorest of the poor in the country. I think this is what her plan was when she gave it. So,
Yes. So thank you so much, and we will take forward whatever your teachings are. We will learn from that, and we will take forward the organization, as you said. And we do hope that we have quite cordial relations with all our colleagues, and we are able to move forward with everyone's support, because it is not a single man's or a single woman's work. It is with the help of all the members that we are moving forward, and quite a few programs are being conducted through NNF for the welfare of students, interns, postgraduates, and also nurses at the SNCU level, at the district level, right up to, as he said, up to tertiary care.
Well, I'm glad. I'm very happy. I'm very. The age doesn't permit me to move around, as I would have been participating with you. So all the best to you, and I'm very delighted to see all of you after so many years that the NNF is doing so well, growing. I had not imagined when we started that I'll be able to see this day. So thank you very much. It has been wonderful meeting you, and thank you for this meeting.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much.
Phoenix. Enabling life.